Ever feel like your English is, well, it's correct, but it doesn't quite sound professional? You're not alone. Today, we're going to dive into this one powerful little trick that will instantly make your language sound more advanced. It's a subtle change, but believe me, it makes a world of difference.
Does this sound familiar at all? You're saying something like, the app that I built is amazing. And grammatically, it's perfect. People understand you. But you just know it's missing that next level polish. This is such a common spot to get stuck in. But the good news is, there's a really simple way to break through. So how do we make that jump? How do we go from just being correct to sounding genuinely professional? The secret, and it's a good one, lies in a technique that native speakers use all the time, usually without even thinking about it. We're going to learn how to reduce and combine relative clauses. And that's exactly what we're focused on today. This isn't about memorizing a bunch of new vocabulary. Nope. This is about restructuring what you already know to sound cleaner, more fluent, and way more professional. This is the key to unlocking a whole new level of confidence in your communication. Okay, let's get into it. Before we start trimming our sentences, we need to be totally clear on what it is we're actually changing. So let's do a super quick refresher on what these relative clauses even are. So a relative clause is just a fancy name for a part of a sentence that gives you extra info about a noun. Look at the example here. The developer who fixed the bug is my teammate. That little phrase, who fixed the bug, tells us exactly which developer we're talking about. It's essential info, right? And it's attached to the noun developer. And these clauses, they almost always start with one of these words, these relative pronouns like who, which, and that. Now, here's the interesting part. These are the exact words that advanced speakers are constantly cutting out to make their sentences sound more natural and efficient. And that brings us to the main event. It might sound kind of weird, but in professional English, shorter is very often smarter. When you learn to reduce these clauses, your language just gets so much more concise and impactful. Let me show you how it works. Okay, let's start with an active voice example. The original sentence, the engineer who works on AI models joined Google. It's totally fine, nothing wrong with it. But now look at the reduced version. We get rid of who and we just change works to working. The engineer working on AI models, can you hear that? It just flows so much better. It's smoother, more direct. Now for the passive voice. You see this one all the time in business and tech, and look how clean this reduction is. The data that was collected becomes just the data collected. We just drop that was completely. You're saying the exact same thing, but you're doing it with way more efficiency and style. It's a game changer. All right, now for the pro-level move, combining ideas. So you might start with two separate thoughts. Then you join them together using one of these relative clauses. But the final, most advanced step, you reduce that clause, and suddenly you have one sleek, professional sentence. This is how you really start to sound fluent. Okay. Theory is great, but let's see how this actually plays out in the real world. We're going to look at some real-world examples you might find in an email, a report, or even during a job interview. This table really just says it all. Check out the first one. The system that we built last year becomes the system built last year. Boom, we just drop that we. How about this one? Developers who know Python becomes developers knowing Python. In this case, who know gets replaced with knowing. In every single one of these, the advanced version is shorter, it's sharper, and it just sounds more professional. Now, this is a seriously powerful skill. But like any tool, the real key is knowing when and where to use it so you get the biggest impact. You don't want to overdo it and sound like a robot, right? So let's build your playbook. Okay, here are the rules of the road. First, try to avoid using this in every single sentence when you're just having a casual chat. It can sound a little too formal. But it is absolutely perfect for professional stuff like emails, your LinkedIn profile, presentations, and especially interviews. The whole goal is to use this trick in your writing and formal speaking to sound concise, efficient, and really, truly advanced. So there you go. You now know how to simplify your English like an absolute pro. And you know what? The best way to make this really stick is to use it. Right now. I've got a challenge for you. Go to your LinkedIn profile, find just one sentence, and rewrite it using a reduced clause. You'll instantly see and feel how much better it sounds. Just think about it for a second. Is it in your bio, a project description, your skills section?
It's such a small change, but it signals a really high level of command over the English language. So my question to you is, what sentence will you upgrade first?